All right, we're back with another segment of Fun Never Ends with Nelson and Friends. I'm standing here with the SoCal Pro Heavyweight Champion, Anthony Idol. Anthony, how's it going?
Pretty good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. You wrestle in a lot of leagues. Aside from SoCal Pro and EWF, who else do you wrestle for?
Currently, Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. I also do some stuff for Venue Wrestling Entertainment in El Centro. I've been to Mexicali and stuff like that before. I've also been to Fresno a lot for Lucha Extreme.
That's awesome. And you did the Del Mar Fair on, 4th of July, right?
Yeah, that's sort of a SoCal Pro tradition.
How was that match?
Well, it's big fun. It's big fun because I usually get in there with the honky tonk man. We get to mix it up a little bit, but it's always in front of a really large, enthusiastic crowd.
He's cool, cocky. He's bad.
He is cool, cocky, and bad. He's still going strong at I think. Well, who cares what his age is? He's still kicking.
Who cares?
Ass.
He's a honky tonk man.
Yeah.
When did you start your wrestling career? How old were you when you started?
Oh man, a while ago. Who cares?
Who cares? You've had great highlights on your career since then.
It's been a tough road. There's a lot of people don't know. I think probably the whole story will come out when I eventually sit down and pen my memoirs as it was.
Yeah.
But probably no one would guess that I started in Mexico.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
I did about 9 months straight in Tijuana, about 4 nights a week, getting my ass kicked for about 4 hours a night. And that's really where I got my start. I was training originally under this guy named the Iron Warrior. He introduced me to Medico Assassino Jr. and Phobia, who was Psychosis's brother.
That's
I trained with those guys quite a bit, along with this other dude named Fantomas, and I think Fantomas became the Highlander.
That's cool. Your inspirations for wrestling, top 5. If you have a top 5, that's cool.
You know, I don't really stick to a top 5 now because when I'm checking tape or I'm looking at somebody, it really flies around now. I feel loyal to the guys who made me fans.
Yeah.
But I think what attracts me the most is this instantaneous electrical connection.
Yeah.
And that's the magic of pro wrestling. Whether it's I lived in absolute fear of Abdullah the Butcher. I was in awe of Bruiser Brody, just the chaos he'd create. I loved Hulk Hogan. I was just really entranced by the Macho Man. Just couldn't take my eyes off of him.
Macho Man was something else. He was cool.
And I was big into history books. Like my aunts got me these big pictorial history books of professional wrestling. So getting to flip through there and read about Luthez and read about Bruno Sammartino and read about Antonio Rocca and Superstar Billy Graham. Like basically
all
anybody,
the guys that kind of
anybody who had held the WWF title, I had to know more about because I think I had the first 9 champions memorized. Superstar Billy Graham especially. And while you wouldn't find me watching a lot of Superstar Billy Graham matches. Superstar Billy Graham is the shining example of that instantaneous electrical connection to people. So
I'll have to take a look in on those matches. I'm going to have to go home and YouTube those matches. So, definitely. Outside of wrestling, what do you like to do?
Wrestling has taken over a big chunk of my life. You know, I had a whole other life going on before I turned to this.
Yeah.
So I don't do a lot else. You know, I'm really focused. I'm in the weight room quite a bit, 5-6 days a week.
Yeah, you're a built guy, man. You kick some ass.
You know, I train some folks. I've trained competitors. I've trained bikini competitors. I've trained figure and fitness competitors. But I'm pursuing some other things. I've been looking into some acting and some voiceover work and some other stuff like that. So I guess my hobby is success.
Success is always great, man. It takes you down a great road, that's for sure. Music-wise, what do you listen to? When you grew up and what you listen to now, is there much of a comparison of what you listen to?
Man, I think it was always pretty eclectic. My mom was big into country, so I didn't dig country too much. I like some drinking, sad, old country.
Can't go wrong.
But probably just the cliche stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of rap, lots of hip hop, because that was just the pinnacle of rebellion when I was growing up. So that, of course, is the biggest attraction.
Like NWA, stuff like that.
NWA was definitely a big attraction when I was younger, but now not so much NWA. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I listened to that. Public Enemy. I was really drawn to Public Enemy, really drawn to KRS-One. Recently, I'm really into Riff Raff and Action Bronson. I've always been into Sabbath.
gotta love Sabbath.
I do love Sabbath. My dad left behind a lot of vinyl when my folks got divorced, so
man.
I was able to thumb through a lot of stuff because my wrestling magazines highlighted all the great entrance music.
Oh yeah.
So I knew I could thumb through the vinyl and find that entrance music, and through that I got to discover a lot more albums.
That's how I kind of did it too when it came down to like watching WWF, and they would have like all the pay-per-views would have like you'd have Rush and you'd have like Saliva and all these guys, and like, that was a breakthrough for me too.
Yeah, wrestling's definitely able to broaden your horizons in more ways than one.
Cart's going by.
Look at that.
Give us a sec. Now after all that's gone, it's far from a distance. Where can everybody else find you on social media?
I am at Anthony Idol on Twitter. I am Anthony Idol on Facebook, and I am Anthony Idol on Instagram. I think that's all the social media I got. I think I halfway started a Snapchat. I did not follow through with that. But if you want to follow that very inactive Snapchat, feel free. I'll probably get that back going on with the next phone purchase.
And you got a match tonight with Brody King.
I am facing Brody King. He is I think it was the 2016 Rookie of the Year. I was the runner-up to Mike Camden in 2014. I've been looking forward to this since Brody got on the scene, if only because there's just not that many big dudes out there.
Yeah.
And so I think this is probably only the third or fourth time I've been in there with another big dude. So I know everybody here is excited. I'm excited. I hope this ends up the way I hope it will.
Yeah. Here comes that card again. Slight delay. I hope you enjoy that lovely soundtrack. Well, I definitely want to come down to SoCal Pro Match and definitely check you out down in Oceanside, and definitely was it live on Hollywood?
Well, yeah, we're at Championship Wrestling Hollywood is in Fort Hueneme at their local theater, and then SoCal Pro is almost always at the Oceanside Boys and Girls Club, if not at the San Marcos Wrestle Warehouse.
Sounds good.
But both of them are great venues. Both of them are near stuff, so you can get something to eat, come in, enjoy the show. And both of them are really close to the freeway, so you can get going really quick after the show. So
right off the 5 freeway.
Yeah, well, Championship Wrestling not so close to the freeway, but still freeway proximal, not too far.
Yeah.
And then Oceanside Boys and Girls Club is freeway adjacent, super duper close. There's a taco shop. There's a liquor store. We got a happening parking lot. You can read between the lines there.
I think you could take the Metrolink and get off on Oceanside, and you'll be fine with it.
You got options.
So, all right. Thank you very much, Anthony Idol, for doing this, and great match tonight,
Fun
man.
never ends. Thanks for having me.
Take care.